Joining us now here on In the Circle at D1 Softball, powered by 643. She is the senior, two-time All-American, coming off tying the school record for most home runs in a game with 3 on Sunday in the win over UC Riverside, part of a historic start to the UCLA season. Of course, she's a two-sport star now. Folks, since we last spoke to her on the podcast, I speak of Megan Grant joining us now here on In the Circle at D1 Softball, powered by 643. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Let me start with your game against UC Riverside, where you tie the school record hitting 3 home runs in a single game, tying Monica Harrison, who did it in 2009. Take me through how you felt at the plate, and were you aware of what you were doing?
I definitely wasn't aware of what I was doing. Usually with the games, I'm so in the moment, really locked in on my plan, what I'm looking to execute. And yeah, things just happened. And then suddenly after the game, everyone was telling me. So truly honored, honestly.
Who was the first to tell you?
I think it was Vinny.
Vinny? Yeah, I figures it was
Yeah.
Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny knows all. So
So when he told you, what went through your mind?
um, I was surprised because UCLA is such a historic program. I feel like there's just so many legends that have come through, and I mean to say that I've put my name in, the books, it's truly an honor to even say that.
Of course, it was part of a historic week for your offense. You hit 8 home runs in that game. For the week, as a team, you hit 23 home runs. School record there, program record, 68 runs scored. Just describe this offense. I mean, I think we knew this was going to be a good offense, but boy, that's about as historic of a start as it gets.
Yeah, I would say offensively, we're just a powerhouse. You can just feel it. We've trained so hard, especially with this preseason practices. Shout out to the coaching staff. They've really put us to work and just helping us realize our potential, and it has shown in the game.
Of course, your tag team partner, Jordan Woolery, hit home runs after you hit a home run in 2 of those 3 home runs back to back. What was that like? You hit the home run, then she follows that up.
I can't say I'm not surprised. Jordan is incredible. Simply, we're no Bruin Bombers for the reason. But yeah, she's simply on a tear, and I feel like no one's gonna stop her this year.
She wins Big Ten Player of the Week and NFCA Player of the Week national awards. I believe it's the first time somebody told me she's won that award, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But what's your reaction to her getting those awards? You've won that awards before in the past in your career. What's it like to have your fellow Bruin Bomber to get now that accolades?
I'm just so happy for her. I mean, she's worked so hard, just day in, day out, just working on her craft, and just to see it all come to fruition on the stage, it really means a lot to me just to see her shine, the way hopefully now everyone sees it.
You two are connected in a lot of ways. You call it Bruin Bubble. What is the other nick? I think you have another nickname, right? Where you're Chef, and she is it's the Chef, the Curry and Thompson show there, the Golden State combo.
Yeah,
You two
well,
compared.
the Splash Sisters.
Splash Sisters, yeah,
Bros, yeah. Just because we're both from the Bay Area too.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, lots of connections there.
Do you remember the first time you met her?
Um, Not vividly. I know just through travel ball, you just know through a grapevine that people are going to UCLA, so you just take a picture with them. Um, but yeah, just always playing against each other, especially being near the same area. But yeah, I can't remember specifically.
But you two instantly hit it off, and it seems like you feed off each other. Is that accurate? Like, I mean, a lot of times you're hitting back to back, but it seems like you feed off each other. Just take me through that, because you two sort of bring the best out of each other, it feels like.
No, absolutely. I feel like, especially with having her right next to me in the lineup, we always say this about each other, but it makes our job so easy. And it feels like the more we can take on stuff together, the less pressure it feels like. So just always knowing that I can have her in my corner, it means a lot to me. It kind of frees me up too. So just really grateful that, she's right behind me.
Let's talk about some of your other teammates. Tell us a little bit of some of the new faces that are contributing to the offense, and some of the returners that maybe don't get the accolades or the talk that certainly you and Woolery get. Just talk about because it's this lineup looks as deep as it's ever been.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 10 new transfers, and 10, or was it five?
Newcomers, yeah,
Yeah, it's 10 newcomers, and then
yeah.
the rest have already been here. So it's just really interesting that team dynamic at first. Coach I wanted to make sure that we really gelled as a team, and we've took that and just honestly ran with it. I mean, this group of girls is just amazing. We're always having fun around each other, and I think in turn that really shows on the field because a lot of these freshmen, a lot of the new transfers, they're really freed up in the sense that they know with being here, there is no fear of failure. We always have each other's backs with that stuff, and it can really just show on the field. Like the way we're swinging it and the way we're pitching, you can just tell there's a different type of energy to it.
Of the new faces, who's a name or two that you would tell people, hey, keep this name in mind. This player, she's a stud. She's gonna really big dividends here.
I would start with Brie Alejandre. Um, yeah, she's a star in the making for sure. I mean, all of them, I would say as well. I mean, they're such a great class, that freshman group. Jolene Lamar as well. Just a group that's going to come up and, they're not afraid. They're not scared. They're actually excited to be out on the stage and, to have that mentality of just like, yes, I want more.
Do the pitchers? I hope the pitchers take care of you. I mean, you've kind of taken care of them with all that run support over there on the opening week, right? Like, I mean, give me a thank you if I was the pitchers. But talk about this pitching staff, and with Tinsley leading the way there, and kind of what you've seen from them, and you play behind them.
Yeah, I would say just definition of having each other's backs. I think the pitching staff this year is a lot more gelled and it's very clear that there's no selflessness or there's a lot of selflessness when it comes to who has the ball and we know on any given day it could be any one of them and just that competitiveness of yes, I'm going to try to get it done for my team, but I also know that if I can't, then someone else will.
What did you work on personally in your own game during the off season to get this senior year and have the best year yet?
It's a lot of rinse and repeat. I think last year was really great. So I really focused on trying to take as much of those feels that I had and try to keep them consistent throughout, my swing and everything. So just a lot more mental and just kind of feeling the repetition within my mind, visualization, things like that, just to sort of rinse and repeat the things that I've done in the past.
As a senior, what do you tell the freshmen about this Division One softball playing at UCLA? Because you were in their shoes once upon a time. Now it's the on the other. Now you're the vet showing
Yeah.
them around. So what do you tell them?
Oh, it's crazy how time flies, right? Um, when I was a freshman, I had such a great and inspiring senior class, and they allowed me, like I said before, to be free and be myself. I think that's the most important thing. And so when it came to the field, it was just like a playground for me. And so I try to encourage that as much as I can with my freshmen now, just letting them know that, hey, it doesn't really matter what you do. Just have fun with it. Like that's how we all grew up to just love the game of softball, is just having fun. But also knowing that, there is no chip on your shoulder. You can play as free as you possibly can be. And there's really no regrets with that. So I just remind them of that.
Who showed you around? Who kind of grabbed you and showed you around at how things worked there when you first arrived at UCLA?
Honestly, the whole class did. I can name Aaliyah Jordan, of course, Megan Framo, just simply gems. They really just took me under their wing and really just showed me the Bruin way and just trying to do that as much as I can with these freshmen as well.
How much as a team do the returners especially drive you to, you got to that World Series and that dramatic super regional comeback against South Carolina to get to the World Series, but I know you all want more. How much does that drive you as the veterans?
It definitely is a huge driving factor. I think we always get a taste, but we want it all. And so just continuing to work towards that goal and not let the standards slip. I think this year especially, we've really just honed in on the standard and how that never changes. And so at all times, we must uphold it. So we're definitely hungry for more.
How much did you reflect on that South Carolina Super Regional and the comeback that you all pulled off? One that's going to be remembered forever over there in Bruin land.
Um, it's just a reminder that anything's possible. Like Coach I always tells us, it just takes one pitch, and that's all we need. And of course, it was Jordan Woolery just honing that in for us, my girl. But yeah, it was that whole term events was still a shock today, and like I said, it is a driving factor that we did have a little taste, but we still want more in the end.
Also, got to be a reminder, too, that there's no deficit you can't overcome.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you've been busy in the offseason because you decided to play basketball. You played on the UCLA basketball team as we record. It's the number 2 ranked team in the country, by the way. Uh, Take me through that process on that, how that all came about, your decision to play basketball. You had played basketball, for those that do not know, in your high school. That was a love of yours. But, I mean, UCLA, not an easy roster to crack. So just take me through that process to getting and making the UCLA basketball team and contributing, as we'll talk about.
Well, in my personal opinion, I would always joke about being on, not necessarily being on the team, but just going to their practice facility and just getting shots up. And I would always tell our coaching staff, like, Coach Lisa, like, when are you gonna take me? And she was like, absolutely not. You're crazy. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe next time. So I just kept asking, kept asking. And, after we ended last year, I was still joking around about it, of course, being all funny. And suddenly their trainer comes up to me and was like, "Oh, like I heard rumors about you possibly being on the team." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh, wait." Like I was just kidding. Like, like it really was, I didn't know my jokes spread that far. But later that day, Coach I called me and was just like, "Are you serious about basketball?" And I was like, "What?" Like, so the opportunity kind of presented itself to me, and I felt like I couldn't say no to it. I feel like a lot of things lined up for my future in terms of just getting more fit, conditioned. I feel like a lot of it helped me with softball in that aspect, and not just physically, but also just in terms of being a good leader as well. So I felt like it was just an opportunity that I could not say no, and I just took it.
So once you get that word, take me through the preparation to becoming, you're preparing for a softball season, but now you're preparing for to be a basketball player, be on the basketball season for the team. So take me through, how do you prepare, and take me through a day, what would be a regular day for you?
Um, let's see. In the fall, so I would split. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday was with softball, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and weekends with basketball. So let's say if it was Tuesday, I would go to basketball in the morning and, have 3-hour practice. And then after that, I would go to the field and just work with the staff and just get fielding work in, throwing, and basically everything I needed softball wise. So I was kind of doubling up, but the looking back, I'm like, wow, I did that. And it kind of stretched my mental capacity in myself, just knowing like I can work outside of my comfort zone for quite a duration. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, that was pretty much my day. And then school, of course.
Yes. Oh, by the way, you're a very good scholar as well. Do you remember your emotions when you got the call to come into the game and make your debut?
Um, I wasn't too emotional. I was kind of like just like excited, little nerves, but more so excited. I try to soak in every moment, honestly, and just enjoy it. Just extra look down at my jersey and just see a little different from the softball one, but still that similar blue and gold, and just brought me back home to it. But yeah, I soaked it in as much as I could.
You scored your first basket November 13th against North Carolina. Very high profile game, by the way.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
Take me through that moment when you scored the basket and what ensued after.
well, honestly, when I go in, I just try to, attain all the goals that basketball set out. As a team, we have goals. And, I would just crash for rebounds and see what happens. That was kind of my goal. I happened to get the rebound and put it back in. Kind of when I'm on the court, there is a slight blackout. I always say this, like sometimes I do black out a little bit, and I definitely blacked out then when I just threw it up and happened to go in. And after that, I couldn't tell you what happened.
Fair.
But I think it was just so pure seeing the bench reaction. Those are my girls, so anything I could do to put a smile on their face, and we talked about that. That was a little inside joke. I never meant for that dance to get all crazy, but
That's what's.
no, yeah, it was a little inside joke with the team. So it was just really nice to see them support me like that.
How do you compare that scoring a basket, a marquee game? That was a marquee game versus maybe your first home run in Division One softball, first base hit. Because not many can say that. You've said that. Not too many athletes can say, "Hey, I've scored in Division One basketball at a high-profile marquee program and get home run in the marquee softball program in the same school."
Yeah, I think the basketball one, it hit a little different because it wasn't my main sport, or it was, but now softball was. So just knowing that I put so much work in and so much time, dedication into my craft with basketball, but also into the girls, and just seeing that come to fruition, I think it hit me after the game. I kind of like was still in adrenaline rush mode, but to be able to experience that, I realized it was something I'll never forget.
Well, what did you know the basketball players prior to joining the team there? Did all being the same student athletes, or did you get, what was that process? Of course, you got one of the best players in the country, Lauren Betts, on the team. For those that don't follow women's basketball, she's one of the top of the bigs in the sport. Did you know them going in? Did you get to know? What was that like getting to know that group?
I knew a couple of them coming in, like Gabs, of course, because she was with softball as well. Even before that, too, Kiki and a little bit of Lauren, but not too much. But to be able to know those girls in the way that I do now, and I would just say I'm so grateful for them. They've helped me so much, not just them, but also the staff over there as well. Can't say enough about them. They're all just amazing, great people. I'm glad to know them.
Describe playing for Corey Close, the head coach women's basketball, and comparing her to like Kelly I.
They have a lot of similarities. I feel like just that head coach gene, especially a UCLA head coach. When I walked over there, I could tell, UCLA just does it a little differently, and that standard that we talked about before is upheld not just within the softball program, it's also within the basketball one as too. So that was really cool to see. Um, and they have like interesting dynamics, but they also kind of gel together. So a lot of the things Corey talks about are the things that Coach I can sort of emulate in a different way too. So it was just really cool to see that like different perspectives, little nuggets that I've gotten, but also how similar they are to each other.
And obviously, the two are big parts of you making this happen because they both obviously have to be on the same page. I'm sure they talked it out and came to some sort of agreement to share you, right? Like that's a big part of it.
Yes, no, I seriously cannot thank them enough. Can't thank God enough for just everything that has happened this whole year throughout the course of my life. It's been such I've been blessed.
How would you analyze the type of player you were and the contributions you did there?
Um, I would just say I was someone who would do anything for the sake of the team. And I feel like to me sometimes that stuff is easy, especially knowing my role. And me, Corey, and Coach I talked about it prior to going in, and I knew like we all had goals set, and I would do anything I could to help everyone attain their goals. And that's just the type of person I am when things come down to it. So that's just how I approached every single day.
You mentioned earlier that it helped you also be a better softball player, a better leader. In what ways did it help you playing basketball, be a better softball player and even a better leader?
I think just the connection I had with the girls around me, kind of gauging where they're at, taking a step outside of the game and the outcome. With softball, I'm a lot more in it, but with basketball, I could kind of really open my eyes and see what was going on around me and also gauging energy and everything. And so just realizing that there is a little meter, and sometimes if we're a little too low, knowing how to bring people up, and if we're a little too high, knowing how to calm people down. I just think that relational aspect has really helped shape me, not just with basketball, but also now with softball too.
Plus, you had a role on the basketball team, a different role that you have in softball, but I'm sure it helps you relate to everybody on the roster in softball and, going through basketball and what it takes there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't express enough how important it is. No matter if you starter or non-starter, as long as you're on the team, you play such a key role within the impact of the whole team. And just knowing that your value matters, whether there is outcome or there isn't, but the people that you impact is probably the most important thing.
Now, are you exclusive now to softball? Could you still dabble? Could you do a Deion Sanders and make a cameo there and play basketball if need be? Where are we now with this?
As of right now, I am mostly locked in on softball.
But you got your phone like with the basketball. You're keeping track very closely, I would imagine.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Still doing film and everything. Yes, have to.
Has it crossed your mind? I mean, that's a team right now that could win the Big Ten title, can make a deep run to the Final Four as a national title contender. Has that crossed your mind that you are a part of two teams here that could really reach big goals this year, which is, again, unique. Not many could say that.
Sometimes I don't really think about it that way. I just see those girls and I see that staff and I just see everything that all the practices, all the work that they've put in, everything that they've done in order to shine the way that they are doing now. It's just really cool to see. But knowing those building blocks, I think were more important to me than any other championship or anything that they could win.
Were you surprised how much national attention you got for playing basketball?
Honestly, yes. uh, I never really realized that part. To ever think of myself being an inspiration to others in that way, but I can say that I'm honored. I'm completely honored and I'm happy that there are people out there who can now start to believe a little bit more, just a little bit more that they can be a two-way or a three-way sport player and, you know, be able to not limit themselves to just one singular thing.
What advice would you give out to a young athlete right now that's thinking, hey, I want to be a two sport star? What advice would you give them?
I would say, don't be afraid if there's an opportunity that presents itself and you're you're still thinking on it. I would say, go ahead and take it and see what happens because you don't know who you're impacting, and there's so much good that can come from just people who want you and who support you, and also you getting better in that right. And it could change your life. It changed mine, so I would say don't be afraid and just seize the opportunity 100%.
Well said. That'll be pretty cool. You're on your way. You're going to be this week, really the next 2 weekends. You're playing in the two marquee tournaments of the regular season in college softball. The Shriners Classic in Clearwater, then Mary Nutter. How do you compare those two tournaments? Those are two marquee tournaments. Mary Nutter has a little more historic, longer, but certainly Shriners has become huge with the ESPN coverage and everything. You've played in both. Describe playing in both of those.
I would it's incredible. The atmosphere of both places are insane. Just super excited, and not just for myself because it's my last go around, but also for the newbies that get to experience what it's like. A lot of them haven't been to Clearwater or been to the Mary Nutter. So just really excited for them to step on the stage and as it gets bigger, just knowing how to level themselves out and just really hone in on the game. So it's all excitement, and I'm just excited for this last go around, especially with these two tournaments. They, like you said, are so historic.
Shriners, you don't get to come east that often, although a little bit more now that you're in the Big Ten, but that's like unique because that's the first trip down east. It's a long flight, and then you play at Eddie C. Moore. What's it like preparing to come east and play and adjusting to the new surroundings?
Yeah, time zone is a big thing. So just getting acclimated to that, and then also the weather as well. We do everything we can to train for that type of weather. Sometimes it's hard in the LA 70 degrees, but we have Coach Elisa who is literally the GOAT and knows all the tips and tricks with those things. So we're well trained, well prepared by our staff to be ready to take on Clearwater.
Yeah, after the senior year, I'm assuming professional softball, international softball goals of yours there?
Yes, yes, absolutely. If the opportunity presents itself, I completely hope to be a professional softball player.
Do you think about the Olympics?
I do think about the Olympics a lot, actually. I think one of the reasons also why I chose to be on the team was to make sure that I was conditioned and fit enough, softball wise too. So I think, every choice I make leads me to the goals that I want in my life. And, 2028 is something that I have my eye set on. And like we talk about opportunity, and if it presents itself, that's where I'd love to be.
I didn't think of that, the fitness aspect, because in basketball, with the running back and forth on the court constantly there, helps you from a fit standpoint, from a softball standpoint. I mean, do you feel like you're a better base runner or maybe faster in some ways because of playing basketball?
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that aspect. That's a great point on there. All right, last question before I let you go. I know you all have big goals. What do you want to keep seeing? What do you think from this team you got to improve on, or a couple keys to have the success you all want to have this season, as you not only Clearwater but beyond, as we get to the Big Ten and then hopefully and then the postseason?
I think just having that balance of having that competitive drive, but also remembering just to play loose. I think our team's at its best when we are loose, relaxed, and having fun with each other. So I think that's the main things, and just making sure that everything that we drive from, it's from within. It's not external factors. We only focus on ourselves and our game, and that's when we're at our best.
You're still the chef, right? Like, have you met Steph Curry?
No, but like
What?
that's on my dream list.
Yeah, we got to set that up.
That is my dream list for sure. I would always watch his highlights as a kid, so it would be a dream come true to meet him.
Favorite athlete?
Kobe Bryant.
Okay, Kobe's still ahead. Okay, fair enough. That's fair. But Steph, yeah, we got to do the Steph. And maybe you do the nighty night. When he hits a three. Maybe you throw that in there at some point.
Yeah,
After maybe a walk off or something. That could be I'm sure he'll let you do that.
that could be, yeah.
That'd be good. Well, all right, we'll set that up down the road. You got plenty of time. Hopefully, he's got playing basketball there. We got to make that. We'll put the word out there. It's out there now. Go, Megan Grant, Steph Curry, two chefs got to meet
Absolutely.
sooner or later there. Megan Grant, two-time All-American, joining us here on In the Circle D1 Softball, powered by 643. Hey, listen, great to catch up with you. I was so thrilled for you when to playing basketball. I was glad to see you get the playing time that you did on the basketball team and fulfill that dream. Congrats on that, and good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully, I'll run into you in Clearwater, but if not, I'm sure we'll talk soon. But thanks for taking the time to tell your story here to us on In the Circle on D1 Softball.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Eric.